Why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? So BJJ is one of the 5 styles that make up the RBUD syllabus: boxing, Thai boxing, judo, Greco-Roman wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Each I feel is the best in their range. So when it comes to groundwork, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best style on the planet when it comes to groundwork. It dedicates the majority of its time to groundwork. There's some takedowns, there's some feints and all this, and there's a little bit of standy uppy depending on where you go with it. But for the most part, it's known as ground art. It spends the majority of the time on the ground, spends more time on the ground than any other art. And it's designed off the principle of a smaller, lighter, weaker human being being able to defend themselves against someone who's bigger and stronger and heavier. So it came originally from judo, back at a time when judo was known as Kano Jiu-Jitsu. Elio and Carlos Gracie got hold of it, tweaked it. Carlos more than Elio, but it's the two family lineages are always at each other. You can Google it and you'll be there forever. They tweaked it. They said, well, it's not Kano Jiu-Jitsu anymore, is it? It's Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So they developed it from there. Due to a bizarre legal kind of case, Jorge and Gracie tried to trademark Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, meaning the other side of the family it's called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lawyer then turned to Jorge and said, well, Judge turned to Jorge and said, you're a lawyer, you should know you can't trademark a family name. And that's why you ended up having everyone springing up going Hoist Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Hickson Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, where they had to put their first name on it as well. But anyway, the actual art itself was designed by, Elio Gracie, the stuff he was coming up with. He was, I think, about 5'6" and 9 stone at his biggest, and so he found judo to be quite difficult. And so he tweaked everything and modified it to be all off leverage without strength. So obviously, if you're a small person, if you're a weak person, if you're a woman, complaints in the comments box. You're not going to be as strong as somebody else. It worked for you because it was all off leverage as opposed to strength. What I've taken from it, which is why it's part of the syllabus, is because when we hit the ground, we don't want to go to the ground, obviously, but when we hit the ground, because as Dave Turner said, even monkeys fall out of trees, if we go to the ground and we hit the ground, we want to be able to control it, and we want to be able to get to our feet as quickly as possible. If we go to the ground and we're underneath, we want to be able to get that person off us and get to our feet as quickly as possible. We don't go for things such as, if we hit the ground, we sweep them so they're on the back, get them out, then work up and try and go for an armbar or a choke. We don't do that. As soon as they're off us, we're getting to our feet, because you can't run away if you're on your back. Again, the objective of self-defense is to get away as quickly as possible. It's not to beat the other person. Beating the other person is irrelevant. That's not our main goal. Again, self-defense is not having a match fight. It's not about I won. It's about I got away without getting my head kicked in. So if a lock is given to us, grab it, lock it, break it, move on to something else. We don't grab an arm, get a submission, and then wait for them to go, I give. Because I tap you, I go, I give. As soon as you let go, I'm on you with renewed vigor. So if we get it, we lock it, we break it immediately, we move on to something else. We don't go looking for submissions, we don't go hunting for submissions at all. The chokes, such as the triangle choke from your back, and the rear naked choke, I know it's a scissor choke on the collar, so we'll utilise those because 6 seconds and the guy's asleep. But again, we don't go looking for it. If it's there, we take it. Our main goal is to get out from underneath the guy. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best in the world on the ground. The added advantage with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is most BJJ clubs will have at least one session a week where they train no gi. So, as I mentioned in another video, actually called 2 gi or not 2 gi, in that I mentioned how if you get comfortable training in a gi, when you get into a fight with someone who's not wearing a thick jacket for you to grab hold of, you haven't got those handles, you suddenly find yourself at a loss. If you train no gi regularly, even if it's just once a week, you get into that habit of not relying on the handles, not relying on the jacket. So, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu clubs will offer you a no-gi session during the week. So it's been proven many times over. So there are millions of videos out there of BJJ working in a real fight. We've seen it in the old Luta Livre feud days back in Brazil. We've seen it with MMA these days. If you go back to the first 4 or 5 UFCs, you can see it really well displayed there by Host Racy. Most places these days, most cities, of even a decent sized city, will have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club. If you can't find a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu club, try and get into an MMA club. Most MMA clubs, their groundwork is based off BJJ. It's been tested by people in real situations. We know it works. It's perfect for the small or weaker person. Obviously, you've got to put it through the filter. You can't buy into what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu people, such as the Gracie family, would say, because the Gracie family is still full on it. It's the only martial art you need. It's not. There is no such thing as the one perfect art. It doesn't exist. You need to get competent in all ranges, and each range will have its own standout art. As why we have 5 styles in the syllabus. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, if there's a club near you, get into it. You won't regret it. Any comments, suggestions, let me know. Please like and subscribe and share. And as always, stay safe and stay vigilant.